Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Um, well, here we are. We are going to talk about one of my something kind of dear to me, and how I'm stepping out on doing something I haven't done before. I am literally going out and trying to collect an entire series, almost a uh, collector's a book lover's collection of books, right? Under a certain title. What I don't know what you want to call it. I'm kind of new to doing this kind of thing, so I don't. I want you guys to realize just how big this is for me because I'm not really big into book buying, but I want to start my library. I want to start. I've got a place where I can put books. Anyway, let me break down the uh, how it all started, right? So before I knew about the booktube community, before I realized that I could share my book reading experience, my bookish experiences, I had a book that I would love to read to my children when they were young, and that was, of course, The Call of the Wild, right? I've already told you about that. I have recently found out that this particular book is part of the Great Classics for Children collection, and there are several different volumes. I think the same titles are in the book, but there are several different printings from the same company. This is from Dalmation Press, and I noticed that on some of my booktube friends do what they call unboxing, because they buy books and they're shipped to their homes, and then sometimes they're part of one of them variety clubs where you get books that you don't know what's coming, and so that part's pretty exciting, right? I figured that once I identified that there was at least 25 different books in this collection, that I would find a collection and collect them. Find each title and keep them. And so I thought, why don't I just share that with my booktube community? And so today I am going to talk about the first two books that I have in the collection. And then I'm going to talk about the purchase, because I've already started receiving some books. And so I received approximately, I think I bought like two books. And then I ended up buying six. Was it one, two, three, four? I think it was more than two, because I ended up getting this weird one. Anyway, so the first one in the collection is The Call of the Wild by Jack London. So I would be very curious as to whether or not any of you guys have not only have heard any of these titles, or if you read them yourself. If you have, please share your experience with these and let me know, out of the group that I have now, which is your favorite. And then as the more books come in, because it's a pretty big, I don't have a whole collection, it's a pretty big list of books. And let me know if you've heard of them, if you read them, and which ones you like in each of our videos. So we'll tag more videos. I'm going to tag my book review for The Call of the Wild in here as well. And you can watch my book review for that one. Now remember, this is a children's collection, so the majority of these titles, if not all of them, are condensed versions of the original novels. All right, so the first one is Call of the Wild by Jack London. So the next one that I bought I think about two or three of them. And think one of them's missing. Anyway, the next title I have is Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Very, very popular book, right? In most of, well, I say most of our childhoods, but most of the children in my genre, right? Let's not forget, I'm not as young as I look. Anyway, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Do I need to give out I don't need to give out synopsis for these. I'm just going to let you know what I've got so far, and then as more of them come in, I'm ordering so many of them now. I've got some coming in that are due to come in, and I don't know which ones are which. Right? So I just read. Here's part of the problem. This is one of the reasons why I thought that this would be pretty cool. Let me not get ahead of myself. So either what I'm finding out is either nobody has the entire collection, or the ones who do have it don't want to sell it. So I'm literally locating these titles individually and having to find them somewhere on the internet and buy them individually, because I'm probably going to be one of few that's going to have the entire collection. So that's going to be the exciting part, right? And oh my gosh, it's just a big thing. So title number 2 of the collection of what I've collected so far, Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain, right? And then the next title we have is Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. Have you guys read this one? I don't know. I remember this one when I was young. I do not remember the story that well, right? I know it was a young boy who was trying to solve a mystery of some sort, right? But what I really like, so some of these books, like I said, they were previously owned. So some of them have personal markings. So this was actually a gift from one young man to another young man, probably good friends or whatnot, and youngsters, which is pretty exciting. That's a little bit of history, right? So he wrote in the book. There's a note in the book, and even though this is a condensed version, I think all of them are like that. They tell you that in the beginning of the book, that this is a condensed version. Where is it? Yeah. So it has been condensed and adapted from the original version. So this is also another, but actually this one's actually thicker. This is a thicker story than the first two. So Treasure Island, Robert Louis Stevenson. That was book number 3 in my collection. And then we have Wizard of Oz, or The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, by L. Frank Baum. Now, we'll probably all have seen the movie adaptations, the different versions, the songs, music videos, good old Michael Jackson. And also, so Grandma gave this book to a child. When is this? 2019. It was a gift to a younger individual in the family, and same ordeal. So that's what we have here, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. And next, awesome story. Anna Sewell, Black Beauty, right? And how do you like that, right? I'm fortunate that so far, all of the books that I have found, a little bit of damage, they've been used, but none of the spines are broken, right? A little bit of handwriting, but none of the pages are dog-eared, right? Oh, here's another one. To the first granddaughter, birthday buddy. So what's this? Yeah, grandma and granddaughter share birthdays, and this was a gift with love to you always and forever. So a little bit of writing, but what's really nice is that the book has these spacers, these blank pages, this colorful, so if you wanted to, send this thing off. But what I really like about it is the pages are nice and crisp, and the book, and of course, how do you do that? Can I do that? There's plenty of illustrations in the book as well too. So that's part of the wonderful part of these books, that they're made for children. But so Black Beauty, have you read this one? And I think those are all the ones that I bought. These are all the same size file. So this one, from Black Beauty, the next 6 that I have here are part of the same purchase, came from the same person, right? So I bought them online. I think it came from eBay. The first, I found one on Amazon. I think that was Tom Sawyer. I found that on Amazon. And then these 2 I found on thriftbooks.com. And then this book, and unfortunately another book. No, this is part of this group here. This 6 was on eBay. I found another one on eBay, and the individual, I guess, didn't have possession of the book, or thought they had it, just couldn't remember where they put it. They couldn't find it, and they ended up calling me later and telling me that they actually didn't have the book, and they refunded my money. And I was like, I don't want the money back. I want the doggone book. Give me the book. Why advertise you got the book and you don't really have the book? When you realize that you lost the book, take it off of the doggone website. I guess. I don't know. I'm feeling some kind of way about it, Anyway, so that was Black Beauty. And then Herman Melville's Moby Dick, right? Of course, that is not the full version, the original version, right? Condensed. I just love the binding and the feel, and of course the smell. Now this one is not written in, and I think it's one of the better conditions. I don't think this book was, it doesn't even look like it's actually ever been read. So this one doesn't even have the full list. So I'm gonna have to go through and see if there's a longer list. But all right, so Moby Dick, Herman Melville. Have you read this one? Is this your favorite? All right, the condensed version. And we may even read these, I guess. I don't know. Would that be cool? Would you be interested in that if I actually read these? I don't know. It'd be cool. I'd be interested in reading it for those. Once I get the whole collection, just read 1 or 2 of them a month, I guess. No. Up to 4 of them once a week, I guess. I don't know. I got plenty of books. Louisa May Alcott, Little Women. Have you read this one? Huh? Did you like it? What are your thoughts on this one? Look at that. Now, unfortunately, my OCD kicks in because the next 4 books, even though it's the same print, it's not part of the same collection. So the rest of the books are actually a different size. Doesn't that suck? So these next four are slightly taller and slightly wider. So when I get ready to put them on my bookshelf, I'm going to have to, I want the bindings to line up. I'm not going to want it sitting in the bookshelf like this, right? So that part kind of, I wish I would have known that when I don't know how many of them are going to be. So anyway, I believe it's part of a different, different collection, different print. I don't know. These next four are larger than the original. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 of them here. And then I have 4 of them here. So that's 10 of them. I have 10 of them. I've got 10 books so far. 10 out of 25. 25, 26. Little Women. Have you read this one? And then, oh, yeah, here's a good one, right? Lewis Carroll, right? Alice Adventures in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland. Have you read? Now, we've all watched the shows and the cartoons. You know, Disney did its play on almost all these titles, right? How many of us actually read these stories? And which ones? Which ones? Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that just awesome? Look at this covering. Look at this. I love these. And I'm so excited about them. Let me see here. No, there's no writing in this one either. Thank goodness. This is large print too. I don't know. Maybe they did something with the print is like huge in comparison to the other ones. It's increased in size. It's going to be an easy read. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going through and reading these again. So I've read some of these already, right? And now that I'm collecting them, I'm going to read them again, right? So I don't know. I don't even know what these next two, I don't think I even heard of them, right? But Joanna Spyri's Heidi. Are you guys familiar with this story? I'm not really, I don't know this one. Yeah. So I really don't know. I'm not familiar with this title. But once again, the book is in excellent condition with the little colored pages inside the binding. This is awesome. I'm so excited. Nice little collection. All right, so Heidi, Joanna Spyri, and then Anne of Green Gables, Ellen Montgomery. I've heard of the story. I have not read it before. So this is going to be part of the really, really exciting part of finding these books, is that there are so many of them. This one's green pages. No writing. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it because I just recently, there's a lot of, I'm beginning to think that maybe The Call of the Wild is one of the most recent ones, because here's the list of stories, and there's not even half the number of stories in this particular book as it is in The Call of the Wild. And I'll show you that in just a moment. That list of books gets really long in that final copy that I have. And that Call of the Wild is a lot more personable to me than the rest of the titles in this collection. But Anne of Green Gables. Have you read this one? And if so, did you like it? Which one is your favorite on today's list? Right? So let me see. Because all these books here, each one has a list of stories. Yeah, that's the same. So those won't have as long as a list. This one has more, but not as many. I can't wait. And I'm not even going to give you guys the list because I want it to be as much of a surprise to you as it is to me once the books finally reach me. And of course, I get notifications that the books are inbound and that, I should be expecting them. But I don't want to pay attention to them, right? I don't want to pay attention to it. I want that list to be. So here's that other list. So look at that. So that's the list that I have that I originally found. And so what I've been doing is because I tried to do a search by the title of the collection, and I can't find each of the books. And so I ended up having to go onto the internet and search for each book individually. Ugh. But I'm really, really excited about getting it because when I got a chance to, so I read this a long time ago, and then I watched Disney's adaptation with Harrison Ford in it, right? And I realized now, when I saw the movie, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember. But when I went back and read the book, I'm like, that's right. He didn't die there. That didn't happen. He didn't run off. Buck didn't run off with some female, wolf. And so it was like, oh my gosh, the book is a far better telling of the original story. So if you're, I don't know, I have not been, I prefer a lot because I like the cinematography of good films. And so I have a tendency to not, if I watched a film that I've enjoyed, I will not go back and read the book. Because if I enjoyed the film and then go back and read the book, I'm going to be very upset about the film. And so I don't normally do that very often. But the book was better. The book was much better. Anyway, that's my collection so far. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great week. And just keep reading.